Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
I can't if like she's an actual candidate or people are just saying that. So that's why I was asking. I feel like
I think it's gonna come down.
I feel like the fact that Chicago had the same record last year hurts her because it's like the impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they also lost their coach. They also lost their coach last year, and they only had 3 returning players. So if they can somehow make the playoffs and the Fever miss it, that's going to make her case a lot stronger.
That.
Yeah,
so this
Caitlin Clark has been off the charts. But the odds continue to get smaller. She opened up as a humongous favorite. Now she's down. I think Angel Reese odds are down to plus 300. When she opened, I know it's at least plus 1,000.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's gonna come down to team success. But yeah, you can't take it either way. Either right. If the season was to end right now, you could give it to either one of them. Clearly.
Right. All right. Well, speaking of Angel Reese, we got Chicago on the road in New York. They're catching 10.5 here. Neither of these teams have favorable records against the number. 8-12 for Chicago, 8-14 for New York. Are you down to lay this many points here?
Absolutely not, Cal. Absolutely not. So I took Chicago plus 10.5 this morning, and I'm such an idiot because it opened at 11.5, and me and RC was texting about it yesterday. He was like, I'm gonna take the plus 11. He was like, I don't have 11.5 available in my book yet, and I was like, all right, yeah. I was like, I didn't even look into the game yet, but I already know the records off the top of my head. The Liberty at home, Cal, are 2-10 against the number. They just continue to be overpriced, extremely overpriced. As a double-digit favorite at home, they're 1-9. And you got them coming off a big game at the Mohegan Center yesterday. They played and beat the Connecticut Sun yesterday, which also have the second best record in the WNBA. So you get a New York team that probably exhales just a tad bit after such a big win yesterday. They were winning for most of the game, but they did let the Connecticut Sun take a lead in the fourth quarter. So that game went down to the wire. So now you get them second, back-to-back days. Short travel, but Chicago also second of a back-to-back as well, which influences the total a little bit that I'll touch on in a second. But yeah, there's no way I can lay double digits with a team that is 1-9 against the number at home. The only game that they covered was actually a game where they had the rest advantage against the Indiana Fever. They blew them out. It was 103 to 68 at the beginning of the season. So you could say that their point margin at home when they do win is even a little inflated, just because they had a 37-point win in that game. You look at, what Chicago's been able to do. They've been double-digit dogs twice this season. The first time actually came against the Liberty. They were getting 16.5. They went into New York and won that game outright. Teresa Weatherspoon.
Sky money line.
Teresa Weatherspoon used to play for this New York Liberty team. So that this game is always going to be a big game for her, whenever they come to New York. And the only other time that Chicago was a double-digit favorite, double-digit dog, was last week when me and Ronald were on your show, and we said that we were going to lay the points with Seattle. They went to Seattle, won that game outright, the first one. So yeah, I mean they're 4-5 against the number in their last 5 games. It's just no way I'm laying points with the you placed it already. It's no way I'm laying
money line. Yeah. I'm in.
I don't know about money line, but I think first half, Kyle, I know you like those first half numbers. They are, I think, 8-4-1 first half in the first half just in general. And the Liberty are 7-14 against the number in the first half, just because they typically lay too many points. So I do like Chicago. I ended up playing plus 10.5. It's come down to 10. I see some 9s out there as well. So I would still take it down to probably about 9.5. And then as far as the total goes, it did got bet up and over. But it opened 166, came down to 165.5, which is where I got in. And I played the over. It's up to 167 on some books, but I see some 166.5s out there as well. I would play it up to 167.5, but I do like it up and over as well. Because in those games where the Liberty are laying a boatload of points at home, it's typically their defense that's not locked in. They're 7-3 to the over as double-digit home favorites. And you got Chicago that's actually went over in 4 of their last 5 games. Kennedy Carter has been absolutely amazing. I think she has 19 plus points in 5 of her last 6 games. And then I just look at the spot, like from a situational spot. Double-digit unrested home favorites, 7-2 to the over in the Killer Sports database, going all the way back to 2011. It says that defensively, both teams played a tough game yesterday. You don't see as much defense in this one, so I like that trend a lot as well. So I played the over at 165.5, and I took the plus 10.5 in this game. I like both. I like my position in both.
All right. Well, I threw down a half unit on Sky Moneyline plus 415. I'm in. Let's go in.
This dude, Kyle.
All right. Let's move on to some MLB. Chris, thanks for joining. Make sure you guys give him some support. Watch his show. He does it every day on YouTube.
Absolutely. Best of luck, Kyle. Best of luck to the chat, too. Catch you later.
Man. Have a good day.
All right. You too.
Let's wait for the I told them 11:30. So what do you guys want to talk about in the meantime? We got a few minutes. Pop in a piece of Nicorette gum. Kyle killed me with the Giants money line. Man, I didn't even bet the Giants money line. How did I kill you? Wasn't even one of my bets. Grimace comes through again. Damn right. MLB yesterday was disgusting. Sorry to hear that, man. I went 3-3, slightly in the green. I had an okay one. 2 days ago was my ugly day. Let's talk bat speed. Someone in the chat said Grimace is back, Andy. Andy's listening to music. He has headphones in. He can't hear. I like Grimace again today. Me too. Me too. We want to know what other jobs you had besides running your sports capping business. Years ago, I was waiting tables in a halfway house, and I got into video editing. My path here comes from video editing. I was doing freelance video editing. I got a few gigs doing reality TV sizzles. What a sizzle is it's basically like a trailer for a TV show, and you make the sizzle, and then the producer goes and tries to sell it to a network. So I would edit the sizzles, and then I made some videos of me talking about sports to use as resume pieces. I would send them out, like just me talk about sports to show off the graphics I can make. I was using it as like a reel, and then people started subscribing. Why is the Rockies first? Isn't that the first game on the board? Yeah, it's because it's the first game on the board. It starts at 1:10 p.m. Good call on those Cubbies. Yeah, man. It was nice. Can someone explain why the Cubs are beating the crap out of the O's? Well, yesterday, Baltimore isn't getting to left-handed starters, which is a conversation we need to have today because we have yet again another good lefty on the mound for the Cubs, Justin Steele. You used to make the Girls Gone Wild trailer. No, but is someone in here? I can't see them. I'll leave and come back. Get Toast on the screen so I could leave and come back, and he could. I hate OBS Ninja, dude. I hate it. There we go. Toast is on the screen. I'll be right back.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Very curious to see if Kyle ever figures out this OBS Ninja thing. Very smart person that usually figures out things. I wonder if he ends up just making his own or finding somebody to make his own for him. Just a thought that goes through my head. Good morning. Good morning.
We could just get started. It doesn't sound like Commish can hang around for much time anyway. So Rockies, Reds is first. We'll give Commish another minute. Best advice for somebody wanting to get into this business. Just be honest, I guess. Don't just try to convince people that you win bets, because that's what everyone does, and you don't stand out from anyone. Everyone's like, their entire purpose, their social media account, everything is just desperately trying to convince people that they win bets. It comes off really.
You guys don't understand like how true that is too. Like, it's yeah.
Everyone loses bets, man. Just be honest about it.
Also, things take time, like years and years and years. So,
can you join the Discord without paying? There are a couple people I have in there for free, but they're people that I consider sharp handicappers that I think make the group better. So, but for the most part, no. Bieber does production for the 13th time. Rob Bieber's doing production the rest of the season, man.
Bieber's been doing production for a long time.
Yeah, it's I don't. He didn't get benched. He opted out of his contract. He took the production clause of his deal.
He opted out, but he also has being able to do this is another thing to add to what he's doing too. So,
yeah, in addition to whining. All right, I guess we'll just get started. I don't know where Commish is at. So Rockies on the road in Cincinnati. Hunter Green against Austin Gomber. I did look at this game. It's tough because if you look at the Reds against their game logs against lefty starters, they're not getting to lefties. But Gomber has been so bad, and making a road start in Great American Small Park, as Toast likes to call it, it's hard to have faith in him. So yeah, we could look at all the game logs where Cincinnati didn't get to lefties, but does that really bring us to the final conclusion of Austin Gomber is going to deal today? I don't think we can get there. Hunter Green's been better on the road this year. He actually hasn't been that great at home in Cincinnati, but this Colorado lineup is not a lineup I trust. So I mean, I think Hunter Green should be fine. It would only be Reds for me here. Reds -1.5, but this is one of my least favorite games on the board. No chance I bet this.
I did bet it. I bet Rockies team total over 3.5 at -110. Not sure what it's at this morning. I would be surprised if it's anything too far off the -110 number. But another situation where, just like yesterday, the over was extremely lucky because the Reds did nothing until late in the game. But another situation in Great America Small Park that it's great weather, 85 degrees. The wind's not blowing out today, but we're still looking at huge increases for runs today. And not to mention the fact that Hunter Green, like Sas just talked about, not as dominant at home. His last 3 starts at home against Pittsburgh, Detroit, and the Chicago Cubs. 6 2/3, 4 runs to the Cubs, 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs to Pittsburgh, and then he had himself a gem against Detroit. So on top of that, the Rockies have been a house of horrors for Hunter Green in his career. 2 starts in his career, 1 last year, 1 the year before that. 8 1/3 total innings, 16 hits, 10 runs.
That's not fair.
5 walks. It is what you're right, because
both those games were in Coors. No, both those games were in Coors Field.
And that's fine. I'm just saying that I think that the Rockies can score 4 runs today. I don't think they're sitting there looking at Hunter Green like, oh my God, all-star, Like I just think that 3.5 at even money is too good are too short for this good number and a team that has hit this guy up before. So I would also argue that the Colorado and Great America Ballpark are very, very similar. So
not very similar. I mean, Cincinnati's obviously very much a hitter's park, but the Rockies is like playing. That's a different planet, man.
Yes, I will give you that. I'm not trying to make it seem they're exactly the same, but they're close.
Now, in Toast defense, you're saying like, Hunter Green struggled at home, but against who? If you're thinking maybe they saw some dangerous lineups. I mean, the Tigers. He actually blanked the Tigers though. The Pirates hit him up. The Cubs actually scored 4 earned runs off him. So, yeah, he's been giving up runs in these home starts like we talked about. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. Grimace. I wanted to grab Grimace. Wanted to grab him.
I think the best way to play it would be the team total if you're playing Grimace personally. But that's just me.
It's at 4.5. It's like expensive as hell.
I know, but you can get 2.5. Well, see, you can get 2. I was thinking Mackenzie Gore. Isolate Mackenzie Gore in the first 5. You get 2.5 at plus 110. Again, I didn't bet that, but that's the only way I would do it. I mean, I guess if you wanted to play it, because no, the Mets are at home, so yeah, I would play first 5. Just because Mackenzie Gore, I mean, honestly, I love the kid, but over his last 7 starts hasn't been that special. I will say he hasn't started on the road either. Over his last 7 starts, only 1 start on the road. He got throttled by San Diego. But regardless of that, I mean, look at his last couple starts: 3 1/3 against St. Louis, 5 runs, 6 hits. The Mets, he looked decent at home against. He went 5 1/3 or 5 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run. San Diego got to him on the road. Arizona got to him at home. He looked good against Miami, decent against Atlanta. The Mets got to him before that. His last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts against the Mets, he's had a couple good starts. Yeah, it's the only Mets first 5 team total over 2.5 would be the only way I look at it with how much history they have against Mackenzie Gore. That's actually, especially with him moving teams at such a young age, like it's very crazy that they've seen him so much lately. So yeah, it'd only be Mets for me.
I mean, I do think the Mets get to Mackenzie Gore. You could put up Mets money line for me. That's what I wanted to do. But those first 5s, I can get behind them at 1.5 when you go the first 5 over. But 2.5, I mean, because the Mets can get to Mackenzie Gore in the 6th.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know if I would go that way.
He's only made it to the 6th since 2023 against them.
He made it to the 6th against the Mets in his last start.
That's the one.
That's the one. I like, this is going to sound crazy, but I think we're going to see a turnaround from the Mets bullpen with Maton added. I like that guy. Or is it Maton?
Phil Maton, yeah.
Maton. They added another arm to the bullpen, which means Garrett might be the 3rd guy down on the depth chart, which also the Mets bullpen has a different energy to it. They're all rested too. To be honest, I think there's a little bit of recency bias cooked into this line here. Because you think Mets at home minus 135. That means on a neutral field, this would be close to a pick 'em. And in my opinion, that shouldn't be the case here. I think the Mets are the significantly better team. So it'd be Mets money line or pass for me. So that's it.
I guess if it's only 136, I don't mind. I guess Mets money line. I thought there was more like 145, but it's not. It's only one book.
I almost took minus 130 last night. I was close to it. Is Commish here?
Yeah.
I can't see him, so I'm going to leave. Get him on the screen, and I'm going to leave and come back real quick while he talks about the. Do you getting Commish in there?
Good morning, Commish. Can you hear me? Okay.
He can hear you.
Yeah. Sauce is going to come back in. We're having some issues.
OBS is not us. OBS
okay.
Ninja.
Did we bail on Skype?
All right, so there's Commish. I'll be right back.
He used Skype to try. Again, I'm not a computer whiz like those guys, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what's going on. But they used it, didn't like it. However, they used it. I just honestly think they're doing so much on the screen that OBS can't handle it. I mean, again, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I probably sound like an idiot. So I'm not even going to act like I know. But yeah, I just know that getting guests are coming on and coming off seems to be an issue somehow.
Yeah. Well,
I think going out and coming back in just seems to fix it, usually, which is even more weird.
Well, anyway, the Mets. I mean, you think they have the advantage here. The Nationals have been absolutely atrocious against left-handed pitching the last 30 days. They're they are. I think they're 29th in OPS the last 30 days against 28th in OPS. And 27th in WRC plus last 30 days against left-handed pitching. Little weird. David Peterson isn't the most reliable guy in the world. Mackenzie Gore is definitely, I think, the better pitcher here, but the Mets have been so much better offensively. Top 3 team across the board against left-handed pitching in the last month. So the Mets have a huge offensive advantage. I think Washington has a better pitcher here. It's a stay-away spot for me. I would have taken the under. I might play the under for some fun money. I don't love the umpire. He's very hitter friendly in this game, but I think I I could get behind the under first 5 in this spot.
Yeah,
First 5 under. Hear that, Toast?
Yeah. I was just going to also say that if you didn't see Mets versus lefty starters, that's the only thing that held me back. I mean, 0 against Quintana twice, 1 against Manaea. David Peterson, they got 2 against. Or never mind. Sorry, that was Washington. So never mind. I'm reading the wrong team. Never mind. Jesus Christ.
All right, let's put Property was putting first 5 under up on the screen, but we're already ready.
Now I
to
can't
move.
hear sauce.
You can't hear me? Leave and come. Tell him to leave and come back in. Jesus. OBS Ninja sucks. I don't know.
Come back now.
I don't understand how they don't have a better option for OBS.
I just don't understand how it. Yeah. Never mind. I'm not even going to pretend like I know.
All right, next game. Jesus Christ. There we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There we go. All right, next game.
Wait, now I
Cleveland.
can't hear Toast.
You can't hear me?
I'm kidding.
Whatever.
I'm just
okay.
My God, bro, don't joke around with shit like that. All right, Cleveland on the road to Detroit. Toast, I know you have a bet in this one.
Yeah, Tigers first 5 run line, plus 100, minus 105. I think it's either way. But yeah, first of all, Spencer Howard is absolutely terrible. I know that let's just put it this way. 3 of his last 4 starts, he's been absolutely terrible. His 1 start was on the road against Texas that he looks decent. He went 4 2/3. Keep in mind, he was on the Giants for all those. That's what I was going to say at the beginning. I don't know if it really mattered to anybody, but he was on the Giants. He was traded. I don't think that home and away doesn't really matter to me. The fact of the matter is he's faced the Angels, Texas, White Sox, and Baltimore over his last couple starts, going back to before he even 2020 when he got hurt. He's been absolutely terrible. 4 runs, 4 2/3. Like I said, had the 1 good start against Texas. The White Sox got to him. Baltimore got to him. Spencer Howard's just absolutely terrible. And then you have Jack Flaherty coming off the worst start of his season, most likely against the Angels, where he went 5 2/3 on the road. And then if you take a look at him, his starts before that, at home against the White Sox, fantastic. On the road against Houston and Texas, fantastic. On the road at Boston, fantastic. Toronto at home wasn't great, so maybe you can start trying to poke holes at him versus at home or on the road. But Jack Flaherty against this Cleveland team also has really good history. Earlier this year, start in May on the 6th, he went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs. Previous to that, last year, he went 7 innings and 1 run against this Cleveland team. So I think that we're getting Jack Flaherty off a bad start. And not to mention the fact that is Detroit starting to maybe score some runs here? I mean, 5, 8, 1, 5, 5, 5, 3, 9, 3, 7. I mean, they're starting to pick things up a little bit. I think I only need 2 or 3 runs and I win this bet. So, yeah, Detroit first 5 run line here. The fact that their bats are starting to score some runs gave me a little bit more confidence to actually make this bet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to the Jack Flaherty deals take. In fact, I think that's pretty solid. I thought Cleveland bounced back when they got to Kenta Maeda. I thought their slump of failing to get to righty starters was over. But then yesterday, Reese Olson pitched well. So that's a guy I thought they would hit. So this is, I guess, under a pass. I have no interest in touching this one. I'm 0-2 in this series. Wasn't even close in either bet. I took the under in the first game. This final score was like 29-27. Then in the second game, I took Cleveland first 5. Actually, that was close. It was 4-3 after 5 innings. So it's not like they got completely crushed, but I was dead. I was expecting 2-0 Cleveland. So I've been dead wrong in this series twice. No interest in even trying to place a bet on the third one.
Mish?
I'm sure shit not betting on Spencer Howard here. Awful. But the biggest question mark is we just haven't seen Jack Flaherty pitch in so long. He last pitched June 27th. I gave it the 5 against the Angels. He's been battling the back issues. I mean, he was pretty open about it even yesterday. He was talking to one of the beat writers. He said his back thing is something they've been trying to manage pretty much all season. He feels like it's in a better spot, but I guess we'll see how it goes. We really don't have a whole lot of insight into how much he's thrown the last couple of weeks, what his pitch count's going to be today. I would assume around 80, 85 pitches. I think with the hitter-friendly umpire, we haven't seen Flaherty in a while. I actually think Flaherty, it sounds insane, but I think the under 4.5 strikeouts actually has a little bit of value here. Cleveland, 8th fewest strikeouts against right-handed pitching in the last 14 days. Cleveland is a very, very good team, spoiling pitches outside of the strike zone. third highest contact rate on pitches in the zone the last 14 days. So I think under 4.5 strikeouts here is probably how I'm going to go. Again, I cannot say this enough. Don't bet on Spencer Howard in any way.
Flaherty under 4.5 strikeouts.
Yep.
Is that because you don't think you do not think he pitches well, or just doesn't generate any strikeouts?
It's more so the strikeouts for me. Like, even if you look at his last, he's 16 1/3 over the last month. His stuff plus is way down. His swinging strike rate is close-ish to the league average. He hasn't been phenomenal. I think his strikeouts, he faced an Angels team that at the time was striking out a lot. He had the White Sox in there, which is obviously a good K matchup. I just don't think he's been as good as I don't think he's been missing as many bats as he's been missing more bats than he has deserved the last few times he's been in the rotation. And now he's coming back from, we don't know what his pitch count is. We don't know how well his back is truly going to feel. I think a small stab on the under 4.5 makes sense here.
So you're saying Toast made the wrong bet here?
No, actually, because Detroit's been hitting the ball a little bit, and Spencer Howard's going to give you some meatballs. So I could see this being like a 3-2 first 5 type of game.
All right. Let's move on to the next game. Let's move on to Skeens Nation. Pirates on the road in Milwaukee. I really wanted to bet the Brewers last night. Looked at it again. Really thought about pulling the trigger on a plus 110. Oh, man, that was tempting. It still is. Obviously, Pirates have the significant starting pitching advantage. No one's going to debate that. But I don't think Savali's that bad. I mean, there's a reason Milwaukee traded for him. I mean, they think
there's also a reason that Tampa Bay let him go.
What do you mean? Wait, what the fuck? What? What do you mean?
I mean that if you're Tampa Bay and you're in the American
They always
League,
trade starting pitchers. That's like what the Rays do. That's like their thing.
I just don't think that Savali's that good.
All right, take the Pirates then.
I did, and I bet him on the run line, and I gave it out last night on your website. So, Pirates first 5. Pirates first 5 run line for me. I don't know what it is now. I think I got it at plus 100 or whatever. I don't think it's probably moved that much. Let's just double check just to make sure. Yeah, it's still minus 101 or whatever. So yeah, I just think that we have a huge starting pitching advantage here with Pittsburgh.
That's it.
I'm not done. With Aaron Savali and Paul Skeens. Obviously, Paul Skeens, everybody knows who he is. The flavor of the month, week, all that good stuff. So it's going to take kind of a lot from. It's usually one of those situations where it kind of takes a lot for me to back this guy. And I got it here. I understand that Milwaukee is very, very good at home. That's part of the reason why I don't want to deal with late in this ball game. But the fact of the matter is that we got Aaron Savali, who two of his last 3 starts on the road have been pretty damn bad. Now, I will give you that 2 of those were against Minnesota and the Dodgers, but the Dodgers haven't really been great lately. Minnesota, I'll give you that. And the other start was against Pittsburgh, who he's about to just see right now. On top of the fact that I like Pittsburgh during the day much more, a lot of their guys, especially guys like O'Neal Cruz and right-handed pitching, all those numbers go a little up during the day. Also, you take it the fact that the Pirates over the last 14 days and seven days are all starting to heat up with their bats. 3rd in OPS over the last 7 days. They're a top 10 unit the last 14 days against right-handed pitching. They're a top 5 units 7 and 14 days. They've been hitting. They hit the cutter at an extremely high rate. That's one of Savali's best pitches. I just feel like the Pirates have the advantages here early in this ballgame. I don't want to deal with anything late in this ballgame, but if you're going to give me the better starting pitching advantage and a team that hits better during the day, I will give you it's on the road. But at the same time, I just think there's too many advantages for me not to take it. So Pirates first 5 run line. Say you don't like it.
I don't like it.
Laugh.
I don't think it's funny. I think it's sad. Probably don't like that. Commish, you agree that it would only be Brewers, right?
No, I don't agree with that. I like Aaron Savali more than Toast does. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not bad.
He's not terrible. I think Toast has a point. I think the Rays are frustrated with the fact that they were able to get Savali generating more strikeouts, but he just kept giving up runs and runs and runs. I don't know how much of that you can blame on the defense, but Milwaukee is another organization that has a really good reputation for developing pitchers, changing pitch shapes and things like that. I think this is another good opportunity for Savali. I'm eager to see what he does because I think the guy's got talent. He's a very, very smart human being. He's got, I think he's a mechanical engineering degree. He's
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
I love it.
he's a brilliant human being, and I think he fits well with Milwaukee. I think it's a good spot for him. I struggle to get to Milwaukee here though. Pittsburgh, better offense against right-handed pitching in the last 40 days. You get whatever you want to say about Paul Skeens. He's been unreasonably lucky. He's straight at 97.9% of the runners that have reached base against him in the last 30 days. So basically, that worries me a little bit betting Pittsburgh. I think it's a very fair price. I think this is a very, very fair price on both sides. I actually wanted to play the under 8 last night and moved to 7.5. So I don't know if I'm going to buy the half run to get that 8 back. I really have no interest in betting a side here because I like Savali, but I don't like him more than Paul Skeens. I like Paul Skeens, but I feel like you're paying too much for him right now because he's been a little bit more lucky than he has been. And he's been very, very good. He's just been a little bit lucky with the strand rate and things like that. So I like the under 8 here. I think is what I would recommend. You'd have to buy that half run to get it back to 8.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue with an under there. I think Savali could pitch well, and
yeah,
it's crazy because Milwaukee should have the huge offensive advantage, but like Commish said, actually the Pirates have been better against right-handed pitching in the last 40 days, which is just crazy. I honestly think the Pirates numbers are just heavily skewed by that one game, though, because in the last 30 days, the Pirates are 21st in WRC plus against right-handed pitching. But in the last 7 days, they're like top 5 because of that game against the Mets.
To your point, the Pirates have had a 14-run game and a 12-run game and an 8-run game in their last 10 games. So
and it's been really, really hot in Pittsburgh. So they did benefit from some super hitter-friendly weather.
It
but
would
they did just
Brewers.
put 10 in Milwaukee, right? Didn't they just put up 10 in Milwaukee 2 days ago?
Yes, 12.
12. Yeah,
12.
It would only be Brewers for me here, getting the much better team at home at a plus price. But I'm not going to – I want to bet it, but I don't think I'm going to. Next.
I'm stuck on a lot of stuff on this slate right now. I've only locked in a couple of bets so far.
Toast, I'm on the other side of this next one of you. But I didn't actually bet it, though. But I really liked the Giants and ended up leaving it off. I saw you're on
the Giants first 5? Because I only played first 5. So.
Oh, kind of. Yeah. I mean, I think Hicks could pitch well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then we're way off.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see. I just want to make sure I got the right numbers. Oh yeah, Toronto first 5 money line at -105. Jesus. Yeah, it's still -110 now. And then Toronto team total over 1.5. First 5 team total over 1.5 at -120 as well. Sorry for the typing, Beaver. Yeah. So again, how do I start this? I hate Jordan Hicks. I think he's terrible. I think if you take a look at his last 7 starts, the dude is lucky to make it through 5 innings. And he essentially gives up 3 runs every time he's out there. He had a start where he went 3 2/3, 2 runs against Arizona, where he only gave up 2 runs. Again, on the road at the Cubs, he had a fantastic outing where he didn't give up a run. And besides that, it's 3 or 4 innings, maybe 5, and he's given up 3, 4, or 5 runs. And that's what just Jordan Hicks does. I'm sorry. Kevin Gausman, on the other hand, not a guy that I'm running to back on a consistent basis, but on the road, it's a chance that I'm willing to take with him. And if you take a look at his stuff on the road, 6 innings, 2 runs against Seattle. Boston got to him. It is what it is. Him and the Yankees and Boston, it's just usually doesn't seem to go well. But on the road at Oakland, 9 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 10 strikeouts. Go back before that, on the road against the White Sox in Detroit, 12 total innings, 2 runs, 13 strikeouts. On the road at Kansas City, 6 2/3, no runs. My point is, Kevin Gausman can pitch on the road. He also can pitch against San Francisco. He pitched against them last year. Went 6 innings, only gave up 1 run on 12 strikeouts. And not to mention the fact that Toronto is starting to find themselves in a little bit, at least they're playing good baseball right now. They lost that first game against Seattle, and since then they've rattled off 3 of 4. They've scored 5 runs in 3 of those 4 games as well. They scored 10 runs on Wednesday. I just think that through the first 5 in this game, Toronto has all the advantages. I think they have the starting pitching advantage, and I think they have a better lineup. And that's me going from a Giants team that only pays me out at home. So this wasn't an easy bet for me to make. But through the first 5, I think Toronto has a pretty big advantage.
I would like the Giants here, money line. I think obviously Kevin Gausman's home away splits, like Toast talk about, are insane. He has been good on the road, but other than that, there's not a single thing I like here for Toronto. All the splits are in favor of the Giants. I mean, Jordan Hicks, yeah, he's definitely struggled, but he does have nice looking splits against righty bats. He's got a 109 whip against righties this year. Toronto loaded up with righty bats. He's also, I mean, his numbers at home on the season are really good. I trust him a little bit more at home. Never trusted this Toronto lineup at all. I mean, I don't think it's crazy that Jordan Hicks puts together a quality start. I'm not saying Jordan Hicks is going to blank anybody, but it's Toronto. Definitely not a lineup I trust. Also, he throws the sinker over 50% of the time. Toronto, one of the worst lineups in baseball, hitting that pitch. So I think Jordan Hicks is going to pitch well. On the other side, no question, Kevin Gausman has been so good on the road, like really good. But, I mean, he's a righty. And Giants have been hitting righty starters recently, as we were just talking about that. Giants have been a top 10 lineup at home in the last 30 days. Also, Kevin Gausman struggles against lefty bats, 353 WOBA, 148 whip. Giants are going to have a bunch of lefties in the lineup. Kevin Gausman struggles against top 10 lineups, 867 ERA and a 181 whip on the season. Giants right now, especially at home against a righty, definitely a top 10 lineup. So Kevin Gausman on the road, insane numbers, no question. And Jordan Hicks has been struggling. But other than that, there's a lot of splits here I like for the Giants. I almost took it last night at minus 118. This is probably, I bet 3 games for tonight. This would have been the 4th. If I added a 4th game, I was going to take Giants money line. Also, Giants bullpen rested and better. Commish?
I'm Team Toast. I am.
Shitty team.
Good splits, though.
All right.
Good splits.
Good splits, though. Cool story.
Gausman's velo's way up his last 4 starts. He's sitting back comfortably, 94 plus. He looks a lot more like he did Cy Young candidate Gausman the last couple seasons. San Francisco's been hitting right-handed pitching really well, but they've been taking a lot of called strikes, and they've been swinging and missing a lot. Really, really big concern today. They have Bill Miller behind the plate in this game, who's probably he's one of the top 5 most pitcher-friendly umpires in all of Major League Baseball. Gausman, for me, I mean, he works the corners well. He's going to get swings and misses. I like him more from a strikeout perspective than I do a run prevention standpoint, but I'm with Toast here. Like, Toronto's been really bad against right-handed pitching, but I think they could get a couple here. And if Gausman's on, I could see Gausman really having a really, really nice performance today. I think Gausman under 1.5 walks, Gausman over on his strikeouts, Blue Jays as a side. I'm very big on Toronto today.
All right, so I guess I'm on my own little Giants island. I really want to, you know what? I'm writing this down. I might actually bet this.
I have no issues with Giants money line. I want nothing to do with that Toronto bullpen.
Yeah, I'd rather have the first 5. I'd rather have the first 5.
I don't know. I think Jordan Hicks is going to pitch well. Next.
If Jordan Hicks pitches well, they can have my money.
Dodgers, Phillies. I bet this one. Probably was going to get the poll up and running. This series so far has been all Phillies, and I don't really see any evidence that jumps off the page that'll change here. I'm on the under, though. I got it at 9.5. I believe it's mostly 9 now.
Wow.
But
really?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to doubt Aaron Nola here. We used to fade Aaron Nola as a home favorite, but that's a thing of the past. I mean, he's been so good this year. And you know what? Let me pull up the.
I could poke some holes in Aaron Nola really quickly if you want.
Go ahead. You're on the Dodgers?
I'm not on the Dodgers. I don't know. I don't see the. I'm not. I mean, yeah, I don't get the under, but I mean, especially the fact that it's 85 degrees with the wind blowing out. Aaron Nola's history against the Dodgers really terrible. Last year, 12 innings, 10 runs, 14 hits. And Aaron Nola, I mean, of his last 5 starts, he's looked good once on the road to Detroit. I mean, he's 6 innings, 3 runs against Atlanta.
Whoa, there's only 5 hits in that game.
Okay, if that's a good performance, then I mean, take it. I don't.
If he gives us that performance here, it stays under 9.5.
I don't know about that. If he gives up 3 runs and Landon, what do you think Landon Knack's going to do?
Well, I like the matchup for Landon Knack too. I think he can pitch pretty well.
I guess, yeah, I'm just saying that I could definitely pick holes in Aaron Nola. I mean, he hasn't looked sharp in 2 weeks to me.
What?
So, I mean,
Wait, Commish, is he crazy?
You're pitching against Atlanta, Miami, Detroit, and the Padres. Which one of those teams scares you against the bat and you're giving up 3 runs?
Aren't the Padres like a top 5
Yeah, but to
lineup?
say he doesn't look sharp, the guy's got a 2.5% walk rate during the last month.
I know, what is he's been good as hell.
Miami and Detroit. What are we talking about?
What's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to give up runs so you can be
I'm
like,
just
oh, guys,
saying
like,
that
look,
if you're
he sucked
giving up
against these
3
bad
runs,
teams.
you're not on the top of your game. Whatever. Go ahead.
He's been fine. He's been fine.
Yeah, Aaron Nola's been good as hell. I don't know what he's talking about. Also, Aaron Nola throws that curveball a lot, and the Dodgers have terrible numbers against that pitch. He actually throws it 31.9% of the time. Dodgers bottom 5 in baseball against it in the last 30 days. Aaron Nola also has excellent numbers this year against top 10 lineups. He's thrown 42 and a third innings pitched against top 10 lineups versus righties. He's got a 2.13 ERA and an 0.71 WHIP in those innings. So he's been so good when he's pitched against good lineups. I have faith in Aaron Nola. I think he's going to pitch a great game here. I think he shows up for the big one. And then on the other side, this is probably the more.
Hold on, you hold on. If you're going to do that to me, you talk about the pitch mix. Why don't you talk about the next 3 pitches of his pitch mix? Then, if you want to point out the one bad one, point out the next 3.
Yeah, well, it's the one he throws most.
Okay, but he also throws the other 3 that you're talking about over 50% of the time.
Yeah, I mean Dodgers 11th, 9th, and 13th.
Number 1 in the changeup on the season. Number 2
on
on
the season,
seeker.
but 13th in the last 30 days.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, you're making it seem like there's no way that the Dodgers score here. And that's all. I'm just trying to show that there's another side to this.
I don't think the Dodgers are going to score here. I like Aaron Nola to pitch well.
That's bold sauce. I like Aaron Nola, but now I feel like I'm going back to Team Toast here, where they're going to get a couple. They're going to get a couple off Aaron Nola.
Dodgers numbers in the last week or so not looking great.
No, I get it. Their offense has been fucking terrible.
Right.
But
So why is it so crazy that Aaron
last
Nola?
night, they're coming back today. Day game after a night game. Phillies already won 2 in this series. The Dodgers are going to have Will Smith back in the line. There's reasons to not hate the Dodgers today as much as you've hated them the last 2 days.
But yes, I think Aaron Nola pitches well. I'm not saying it's 7 shutout, but 5
But
and 2.
then we're on the same page, so they could get a couple. They could get a couple off of them. That's all we need.
That's all I was saying, because I don't know if you can
have
trust
a couple.
London Knack.
Oh, I kind of do like the spot for Aaron Knack though. Yo, look at Aaron Knack. Look at Landon Knack's numbers against lefty bats this year. They're excellent. 259 WOBA and even 1 WHIP. I mean, 2 superstars in the Phillies lineup are lefties. Also, super small sample size, but he's been good on the road. And what I like about Landon Knack is who he's pitched against. He pitched against Arizona twice, who've been killing righty starters. And I mean, we saw this is earlier in the season, but went on the road to Arizona, pitched a gem. He also went on the road in San Francisco just a couple weeks ago. They've been getting to righties, and he pitched okay.
Angels are hitting righties, even though you don't want to admit it.
No, they're not. I realize that.
I continue to just play the Angels team total over and over and over.
I know.
Not getting the right
Kyle
news.
doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with it.
So I mean, you guys
Is that
keep
where
in
we're
mind,
at?
you guys are acting like I'm saying like these guys are throwing 7 shutout innings. Total's at 9.5.
Okay. I guess that makes more sense. I was trying to get to the Dodgers team total because of the reasons that Commish just talked about, with Will Smith back in the lineup. Philly had already scored 2. Nola hasn't looked great, in my opinion. He has a terrible history against the Dodgers. It's hot out. Dodgers have scored 4 runs. I mean, that matters in baseball. I mean, I'm just saying, like, 85 degrees and the wind blowing out in Philadelphia in a park that's number 5 for run value and a top 10 for home runs. That matters.
It's the same weather it's been out. Philly's right down the street, man.
I understand that. And we saw 10 runs from the Phillies the first night, and we saw 4 night, and we saw the Dodgers strand runners all over. I mean, so I felt like yesterday was lucky. But yeah,
I feel like yesterday
have no
had better starting pitcher. I mean, had worse starting pitchers than today, and there was only 7 runs scored. So what's your pick, yo?
I don't have one. It's a pass.
Commit. Wow, you guys don't even have bets, and you tried to trash mine?
I wasn't trying to trash it.
You were taking shots.
It seemed like Aaron Nola's some god, and I was just pointing.
He's good. Yo, I don't understand. In his last 4 starts, look how many base runners this dude is allowing. None.
I think the Phillies.
see
I think the Phillies are going to score some runs here. I think the Phillies team total at 4.5. I like.
In his last 4 starts, yeah, he's 21 base runners in how many innings? 21?
No, I said 11.
11.
Noah's got a 119 whip his last 30 innings. That's not great. It's very good, but it's not great.
No, someone's saying weather matters. I wasn't saying weather doesn't matter. I'm saying the weather isn't different today than it was yesterday. I live here.
It was really hot yesterday, though.
Yeah, and it was only 7 runs scored with worse starting pitchers.
I don't know if I agree.
Gavin Stone's probably better than Knack, but
Gavin Stone let me down. We're not talking about him. He doesn't get time on this show today.
Yeah, so just so Roto Grinders, their premium model here has plus 28% home run rate, plus 18% runs in 125 games matching the current weather conditions at this stadium. So it's hot as shit.
it was yesterday too.
Yeah, but it was hot the day before, and they scored 40 runs between the two of them. So,
all right, under's the pick. Nola deals. Next. Exactly. Someone in the comments. Weather was hot yesterday, and every East Coast game went under.
Yeah, but the day before the weather was hot, and every game went over. Like, you can't just use yesterday's.
I'm saying that
today's the tiebreak day. Today's the tiebreak day.
I'm saying the weather being hot doesn't make my under a bad pick.
We'll see.
All the East Coast games went under, they say. Yankees Rays was in a dome. That one, so.
There's no rain either.
I know. I'm just like going through it in my head. I'm like, now I have to look.
Well, Yankees Rays, they play indoors, so it doesn't matter.
Anyway, I just got to keep going.
All right, next up, Cubs, Orioles. I want to take the Cubs to complete the sweep, man. Cubs paid me out last night. And what I said yesterday still applies. I mean, it's the Orioles against a good lefty starter. The Orioles have been getting to lefty starters. That's why I really liked Imanaga to pitch well yesterday, and he did. Mm-hmm. Now we got Justin Steele, who's, I mean, every bit as good. I don't think he's quite as dominant as Imanaga, but he's been every bit as good, if not better, this year on paper. He's also been really good on the road this year. I mean, it's like copy and paste what I said yesterday. The Cubs are waking up against righty starters. You can copy and paste every single thing I said about my Cubs bet yesterday, and then add on the fact that the Orioles play the Yankees tomorrow. They start a series against the Yankees without a day off.
Yes. Can I just ask one question for Commish? And this is legit. I'm not trying to talk shit. How do you feel, Commish, about pitchers coming off a complete game, 9 innings, whatever? Like, is that something?
I faded the fuck out of him. I faded what's his face for Oakland 2 days ago, and Boston scored 11 in the first 2 innings. Every time. I don't care who it is. You come off a complete game shutout, I fade you.
So Baltimore for you then, I guess. Interesting. Because I really wanted to play the Cubs too with Sauce. But
I didn't bet the Cubs. I stayed off.
I know, but I felt the only reason that I didn't is because he was coming off a 9-inning performance his last time out at home.
Oh, I don't really care about that. The reason I didn't is the number is now approaching a what the hell. Like yesterday, it was plus 146. Now we're down to plus 120, and I kind of take a step back and look and be like, am I fading the Baltimore Orioles?
No. It's like plus 110 across the board now.
So it's even lower than that.
Yeah.
So yesterday, when I made this graphic, it was plus 120. So that was 2 hours ago. So it's dropping even more. Definitely action coming in on the Cubs, and I get it. But I mean, what the deciding factor for me was, so last night when I was looking at this one, it was like plus 115. And it was like, I like the Cubs, but I mean, we're fading Baltimore at home coming off back-to-back losses, like minus 135. It's just not enough of a payout. If I can get like plus 145, plus 150 again, I probably would do it. But now it's down to plus 110. It'll be Cubs or pass. But I think the Cubs would be the right pick, but I'm not going to do it for no payout.
Yeah, I just can't back Steele after 9 innings. That does bother me. Not to mention the fact that, not that the Cubs bullpen is taxed or anything, but they did use Neris yesterday. The Baltimore saw Little and Hodge or whatever his name is, who's been pretty good for them. So It would be Baltimore, I guess, but I have no really interest betting this game. I really wanted to bet the Cubs again because I knew everybody would be on Baltimore, but I just really can't get there. So
a lot of people are betting the Cubs here. A lot. Our poll's almost split. You got the Orioles at home minus 140 against the Cubs, and the poll's almost split. There's a lot of people betting the Cubs. In fact, I think the Cubs are a bit of a public dog here today. I think so.
That's a dangerous spot to be.
Yeah, I didn't bet it. But it's not because the Cubs are a public dog. I just need more of a payout to fade Baltimore at home coming off back-to-back law. I need more than that. I need plus 140.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not advocating the Cubs in any way here. I did see someone who's very sharp that I work with on the Cubs, but
you're not a Cubs advocate.
I mean, the Cubs are 5-1 their last 6.
Cubs are playing, and they're hitting righty starters recently, which is something we used to make fun of them for. Not 3-4 weeks ago, we were making fun of them for that, and now they're starting to score some runs against righty starters. And it's Albert Suarez against Justin Steele. Baltimore's not getting to lefties. I mean, all the pieces are in place. It makes sense for a Cubs bet. Orioles did just see their main bullpen arms last night, but they're all available. Cubs are passed, and they suck. You love Neris, bro. Now you're going to turn on him? You love that guy.
I mean, their Cubs bullpen actually the last 14 days it's the XFIP that you worry about, but they have been fine. So,
Commish, true or false? We can put our faith in Shane Baz.
Bro, I like what I saw to Shane Baz.
Me too.
I really liked it. So Shane, before he got hurt, he really struggled with command against left-handed batters. His four-seam usage was up tremendously against lefties the other day. You saw he only walked one guy. I think that's intentional. It's obviously a lot easier to throw a fastball in the zone than it is the breaking stuff, especially across the platoon. So I think that seemed intentional. I'll be interested to see if that carries over to today. His slider also looked a lot more sweepy, which I think helps differentiate it from his curveball a lot. So I think that's a plus pitch that should help him out against righties. I was really, really encouraged by what I saw. The spin rates looked good. The velo looked good. I like Shane Bass a lot.
Raise money line?
I don't hate it. First 5 against Nestor, I don't hate that. If you're going to bet the Rays, you got to bet them against a lefty.
I'm on Rays team total over 3.5, by the way.
I could get behind that as well. You got to bet them against a lefty if you're going to do it, because they're 30th out of 30 teams in OPS and WRC plus the last 14 days against righties. So, like yesterday, I fucking hate myself for not betting the Yankees. I looked at that shit all day and didn't bet the fucking Yankees. But I think against, you said a good pass.
Yes, they won 2-1. That was.
I know, but it never got sweaty. They led that game the whole way. I never felt like that game was in doubt.
A one-run game with the Yankees
one-run
is
game
sweaty.
in the fifth, and you never what?
But it's also the Rays' offense against righties. You're seeing righties in the late innings. The Rays had no chance.
It's also the Yankees' bullpen that's been giving up games
Fair.
like candy.
You guys, I appreciate that you're making me feel better about it. I guess I'm just a little bitter that I didn't.
I was just like, you're like, it's sweat-free. I'm like, whoa, are we watching the same game?
I'll tell you, I was watching. Maybe if I had money on it, I would have felt different. But I'm watching the game and I'm like, fuck, this was so easy.
2-1 after 5 innings with the 29th ranked bullpen in baseball the last 30 days. No
Maybe
sweat.
if my money was actually on it, I would have been sweating more. But I was sitting there like, God damn it, I should have bet this the whole time.
No, we're good. Good Lord. I'm on Tampa. I bet it, by the way, Prop Keeper. You can throw it up there. It's my smallest bet of the day. I got it at plus 108. Shane Bass looked pretty good, and the Yankees bats, I think, are a fade, honestly. I mean, this is what, a bottom 10 lineup in the last 30 days now? I mean, no, I'm sorry, not the last 30 days, in the last 7 days. My bad, that was crazy. So ready? Check this out. So in the last 30 days, the Yankees are 16th in WRC plus, 20th in OPS. It gets better. Last 14 days, 24th, 24th. Last 7 days, 26th and 26th. So we're talking about the Yankees are definitively a bottom 10 lineup in the last 2 weeks. Close to a bottom 10 lineup in the last month. It's no longer like a couple cold days. The Yankees aren't hitting, plain and simple. And we had alluded to, we said that this was going to happen at some point. I didn't know it was this extreme. But I mean, the Yankees lineup, very top heavy, right? We kept saying, guys, they're not going to keep hitting like this. And it happened. The Yankees lineup isn't good enough to be laying minus 120 juice on the road, is how I feel. Shane Bass, I mean, he's made one start back since what, 2018? Like it's tough. It's tough, but I'm always down to fade Nestor Cortez on the road. Even though he's had some good road starts this year. It hasn't been a blind fade, but in years past, Nestor Cortez can be faded on the road. The Yankees bullpen, which has been trash, right? It's been one of the worst bullpens in baseball. They use all their main arms, Holmes and Weaver, through like 24 and 27 pitches last night. They'll be available, but the way they've been pitching, if the Yankees have a lead and the Rays bats are going to see them again after throwing 24 and 27 pitches, I still think the Rays would win. So I'm in on the Rays. It's my smallest bet that I have placed down. But yeah, I got it at plus 108. I'm in on Tampa.
Rays team total over 3.5, minus 115 for me. Just really quickly, since you mentioned home and road for Nestor. At home this year, Nestor 4-3, opponents with like a 191 batting average, a 48 OPS plus. That's really, really good. On the road, 0-4. That batting average jumps up to 300. That OPS plus jumps up to almost plus 140. Just been absolutely god-awful on the road. His last 2 starts in Tampa Bay, 9 total innings, 8 runs. I mean, this Rays team, 4 of the last 5 times that he has seen them, they've gotten to him for at least 3 runs. And again, this Rays team versus left-handed pitching has just been fantastic for a while now. The last 30 days, 14 days, 7 days, it doesn't matter what split you want to use. They're a top 5. They're top 7 in the last 7 days, but top 3 or top 4 last 14 and last 30 days. At home, they haven't really been as great, but like I said, with the history against Nestor and the fact that the Yankees bullpen has been just dog shit, I don't want to deal with Shane Baz. I like Shane Baz. He's one of my favorite guys, but I just don't want to deal with that. I'll just deal with the bats getting 4 runs today, so that's what I did.
You're scared of all right, I'm on the Rays. Let's move on to the next one.
Not scared, just thought that runs were easier to come by.
Oakland at someone said, why does Toast results stop it in June on the website? That's it. I can fix it right now. Well, actually, I'll fix it after. We don't have a web designer or anything. I manage the website and I'm not a web designer, so it's buggy at times. I'll fix that right after this. All right, so yeah, because June is when we would want to start showing your results because you got hot again. So Oakland on the road in Boston. I bet
that's what my bet is.
What is it?
Oakland first 5, team total over 1.5. Do you not like it again today? Do you hate it again today?
Put it up.
You don't like it?
No.
Didn't cash in the first yesterday?
No, I'm on the same side.
Cashed in the first day, then he didn't like it the next day, cashed again another day. So we'll see if he likes it today.
I do like it. So you're fading Hulk.
So I'm probably going to lose. Great. I'm fading Hulk. Honestly, he hasn't looked sharp in 5 starts now?
Yeah, he's on the way out.
So I'll let you go because now I'm very curious to see where you're at because I really don't even know where you're at.
My biggest bet of the day, Oakland money line.
Oh
no, just kidding. I split it in half. I have Oakland money line and Oakland plus 1.5, and it's tied for my biggest bet of the day.
Man,
it was just dramatic to say it like that.
Man.
So I took Oakland money line for a half unit. I took Oakland plus 1.5 at plus 100 for a half unit. I like Medina, man. He's been really good. Yeah, he's been pitching really well. He's also got nice numbers, very favorable splits against lefty bats. Boston's loaded up with lefties. I'm putting my faith in Medina. We just saw this dude, by the way, in his last 2 starts. So if you're wondering, yes, we're saying Medina's been dealing. We're talking about a small sample size, but in his last 2 starts, Medina went on the road to Arizona, who I swear in the last 2-3 weeks, I put Arizona in top 3 as far as getting to righty starters. They've been 100%. Crushing righty starters. Couldn't touch Medina. Medina went in there and dealt 7 base runners, just 1 run in 6 innings. Followed that up by pitching a great game against Baltimore. Medina's my guy right now. I've been saying I'm waiting for a spot to fade these Boston bats. I think they're dipping out. I think they're definitely against righty starters, especially. I think they're heading like this, and the market hasn't caught up to it yet. As you can see, a minus 210 favorite. Tanner Houck, like Toe said, trending in the wrong direction here. Look at his numbers from his last 5 starts. I'll pull it up for you. Tanner Houck, last 4 starts, 5.40 ERA. His last 3 home starts, 6.35 ERA. He was having an excellent season. He is on the way down as well. And if you remember Tanner Houck from years past, this dude's a fade in Fenway, man.
Bingo.
A +1, +180, +190, +1.5. I think it's worth a shot. Look, it's a high risk bet. So please, if you're tailing, please bet responsibly. But I played Oakland here.
I'm going to tail you on that money line because I figured
+1.5.
No, what? This is where me and you are so different. Boston, this is going to be Boston's 92nd game. They've played less than 15 one-run games. Like, there's no reason for me to take +1.5. I mean, less than 15% of the time, I think that's the math. Boston plays a one-run game. So there's just no reason for me to take 1.5. But I will play that money line with you. And I also will play that Oakland first 5 team total over 1.5, or because it continues to cash with me. I will continue to drink the juice with it. Houck hasn't been great. And by the way, his pitch mix, slider, sinker, splitter, Oakland loves hitting those. The last 30 days, 6th, 5th, and 8th in all those. So Oakland also bats not only in general the last 14 and 7 days, they're a top 4 lineup in baseball right now. So they're just killing the ball, doing whatever they got to do to score runs. I cannot believe it's at 1.5 again.
Commish, Oakland.
It's hot as shit. I mean, 1.5 first 5. Why not? I think Houck can miss some bats here. I mean, if Brian Bayo can strike out 11 guys 2 days ago, I think Houck can miss some bats. But I'm not super confident in the run prevention. And it's hot. It's Fenway. The wind's blowing out. 1.5 in the first 5 is just highly irresponsible. I don't care if I don't care if one of my little league teams was
mile-an-hour winds blowing out
today. I think we could get 2 off of Tanner. So I think that's a good. I haven't looked at that game yet, but everything you guys said makes sense.
He goes 1.5 is highly irresponsible.
It is. It's a blue bit of blast.
I will give Sauce credit because the first day he said he didn't like the bet. He said that he thought Bello was going to deal, and Bello kind of did deal after like a shaky first where he gave up 2 runs, and then he like.
I don't know if he dealt, man. Like I know you can make. It was a weird stat line. He gave up 5 runs, but he had 11 strikeouts. So I don't know. Like he missed a lot of bats, but the dude also missed middle a lot in that game.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that.
Someone said Someone says, I love when Toast tells us how many times a team has won or lost by a run line like that. It's my favorite stat. It's my least favorite stat. I think it's stupid. I think it's freaking stupid. I don't think there's any logic that explains, like, oh, this team just doesn't play one-run games. How does that even make sense?
Well, if they have
like
a bad
blind
bullpen,
random numbers.
or if they have a bad bullpen or a streaky offense, that would usually indicate, like.
I might bet Oakland -1.5 now.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. Okay.
Just because it's hot. Like I think that's one of the factors, right?
It's hot, guys.
When
It's
runs
hot.
are
It's
scored,
hot up in Boston. It's hot.
No, but genuinely, you think about it from a perspective of if there's 10 runs scored in a game, there's a higher probability that game's going to end with a 2+ margin of victory than if it's 4-2. You know what I mean, I guess that would be a 2-run
-1.5. I'll look at it. How about that?
I'm just saying.
It's hot.
If it's hot, -1.5. If it's cold, money line.
Or +1.5.
No, never +1.5.
You guys are freaking crazy with that.
Never.
Hold on. Let me see some alt lines here. Alternate run lines. Oakland -1.5 is +280.
Also,
it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get -1.5 with Oakland.
A friend of the show, second half plays, has a 100-unit do or die max with Boston in a 2-leg parlay. So good news for us.
No, he's sharp.
All right, Marlins, Astros.
Both dogs. Just bet them both, and one of them's going to lose, or one of them's going to win.
Rodri Munoz against Bloss. I don't have a single word to say about this. Someone else can talk about it.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick one. I have nothing to do. I won my first 2 bets in this series. I want nothing to do with this third game. Yeah, I have nothing on this one. There's no way I'd play with Houston though with this guy on the mound.
Nope. Commish, are you a Bloss guy?
No, pass.
All right, that was a quick one. Seattle against the Angels. New series starting. Division rivalry here, Toast?
In your eyes, I'm sure.
Are they not rivals?
I don't think so. Not in my eyes. I would say Mariners, Astros for sure.
What about Rangers, Astros?
Yeah, because they're in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, as they
So
say.
then Mariners can't be the Astros' rival then if the Rangers are.
I guess. I mean,
They're all rivals, dude. That's the point.
I know.
I'm making.
That's what I was just going to get to the point. Whereas in this case, they're all rivals.
So Castillo on the road. Allegedly, the Angels are hitting righties according to Toast. Angels money line plus 142, right?
Can you trust Jack Kokowinsinak? Because I can't. I can't even pronounce his last name.
Kokonanowicz.
Kokonanowicz?
Kokonanowicz.
It's hard.
No, I got it. Kokonowicz. That's it. Kokonowicz.
Don't mess me up. I got it.
Commish, are you a Kokonowicz guy?
My Kokonowicz guy.
No one's ever asked me that before.
My Kokonowicz. I don't. No.
Okay, I do have a bet though. All joking aside, Angels first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 125. I will bet that Castillo his last 3 road starts. I'm dead serious now. No more joking around. Castillo's last 3 road starts: Rays, Cleveland, Royals. 15 innings, 14 runs. It just really hasn't been really good. Last year, his 2 starts in LA: 12 total innings, 12 runs, 16 hits. Again, this Angels team continues to pay me out. And so I'm going to continue to find ways to bet them today. First 5 team total over 1.5.
I all jokes aside, I skipped this one last night because I was like, who the hell is Kokonowicz?
Same.
But he throws with his right hand. Mariners just used their main bullpen arms last night. And in fact, Munoz threw 28 pitches. Castillo on the road.
19.
Put up Angels money line or pass for me.
I'm with both of you guys here. I think the Angels offense is criminally undervalued at this point.
Me too.
And as much as I can't stand Anthony Rendon as a person, but he helps the lineup at the top of the order. And
Tony 2 bags, a couple single knocks. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'll give them back defensively for sure. And if he gets bored in the 7th inning, you'll see him have a little bit of a lazy at bat. But he helps. He helps that team. The 3.5s that they keep rolling out are disrespectful. The 1.5s in the first 5, disrespectful. They've also been pretty good in the zone. They're not getting beat by fastballs in the zone. They have horrible play discipline. So if you got a pitcher that gets guys to chase out of the zone a lot, you might want to look at an over for strikeouts for them. But guys are not going to beat them in the zone, which I think is a very, very significant step forward for them, which makes 1.5 team totals in the first 5, 3.5 full game very, very approachable for them.
Y'all don't trust the community parlay. They never hit. Dude, what? It's like a bet for fun.
And
crazy. Like, are people coming in here? Well, I'm trusting the community parlay.
That's why they're showing
for you. So someone said the C is silent. Is it Kohanowitz?
Oh, I thought in community parlay the C was silent.
No, immunity parlay.
Yeah.
No, is it Kohanowitz maybe? According to somebody in the comments. But yeah, it would only be Angels, and I don't know about this Angels lineup criminally undervalued thing. Sounds like a load of malarkey. I mean, the last 7 days, 30th in WRC plus.
It's at home. I should preface that they have to be playing at home. If you filter out those numbers, it's a little bit different. And I'm not even making a joke.
No, pass. Next. Braves at Snakes. We officially changed our graphic to include the new Arizona Diamondbacks ugly ass blue. They tried to revive the shit they had in the late 90s. It looks disgusting. But hey, it's not my franchise. We'll put up whatever colors you want, Diamondbacks, no matter how gross it is. That tan looks sweet. It was like desert, like Diamondbacks in the desert with the tan. Now they have this weird blue. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think Fott deals here, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good righty against the Braves. What's the price on this again? I forget.
Plus 110 for Arizona.
It had to be first.
Oh, it's down to plus 100 now. It would only be Arizona for me here.
Yeah, look at the bullpen, dude. It's got to be first 5. Look at that Arizona bullpen. Good God.
Yeah, but look at that Atlanta offense waiting at pitching.
Nah, they'll be available, though. Seawald's
cares?
available.
Yeah, bring Seawald up in there. How are you going to feel about that one, bud?
I think I would rather have.
He said they're available. Who's available?
Seawald, Justin Martinez, maybe not.
3 of the last 4 nights, 49
No,
pitches. in 2
Martinez
days?
is not available, but Seawald and Ginkle definitely are.
I don't know if Seawald's officially available.
He
30
threw
pitches.
8 pitches.
Dude, he has been so bad. They might want to get him a
We're
night,
not
couple
arguing
nights.
whether or not he's good. You're switching. You're moving the goalpost here. You are going to if he's going to be available or whether or not he's good. He's available.
I'm not moving the goalpost. I'm telling you that if I'm Torey Lovello and he has a good start, I might sit him down and let him have a couple good nights sleep knowing that he pitched well. That's
Okay,
what
so
I'm telling you.
What? Commish, what do you like here? Switch mine to over, Prop Beaver.
Arizona's offense is significantly better than Atlanta's right now. I like Brandon Pfaadt. I like Max Fried too, but I don't think Atlanta's getting a Pfaadt here. I think Atlanta might have 1 run through 5 innings. So I think first 5 under, or you take Arizona. There's no way I'm betting them. There's no way I would recommend betting the Braves at any point right now because they continue to get priced as if they're a World Series favorite, and this team is just not a very good baseball team.
That's crazy too. The first 5 for Arizona is minus 125. Full game is like plus 100. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't even disagree with the first 5 under, and I don't disagree with the fact that the Braves might have 1 run through 5 innings, but they might finish with 9 against the Snakes bullpen.
yeah, I don't see why we just don't play under 4.5.
The first 5.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. Maybe a live over.
I guess Arizona has gotten to Fried in his past. I guess that's kind of thin, but very thin.
Nothing for me here. Rob Beaver's putting a first 5 under graphic up for Toast, it looks like. All right, cool. Let's hit him with the community parlay song.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay. Yeah.
Community. Whoa! Why did we shoot up to the top of the screen? There we go. All right, let's run the community parlay, and then let's get the hell out of here. First up, are you ready for the polls? First up, Reds money line, Mets money line. Did they like the Tigers with Flaherty pitching? Or did they like it was Cleveland though? Guardians money line, Pirates money line. Bunch of Skeens believers.
Also, just somebody sent me a message. We were talking about the Cubs splits and stuff. The VSiN on VSiN, it's 90% of bets and money on Baltimore.
Yeah, but I don't really care about that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's just one thing. But I was surprised to see it how big that was.
Yeah, I mean, they're showing data all over. Everyone's betting Baltimore, right? But I mean, we have our poll it was almost Cubs. It was.
That's why I wanted to say that, because it was like 2 different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I think about that data. I don't really.
Well, they're also not taking like sharp good action either on those books, so it's like not real sharp money.
Who won the poll, dude?
I heard that, Beaver.
Yeah, probably. Reds money line. Reds. Next up. Did they like the Blue Jays or the Giants, Prop Beaver? Because I like the Giants, but Toast and Commish like the Blue Jays. Blue Jays money line. Orioles money line. By barely. Yankees or Rays? Yankees. Yeah. And then Baston money line.
Go Reds. Is Jake Fairley starting today?
What's considered a sharp? I mean, I don't. It's just like I don't think it. I mean, like implied that it's professional money, but like.
What I meant by that is that people make a big idea of like sharp money is where's the sharp money coming and where's the sharp yada yada yada. And my point to that is if you're taking a book like a DraftKings or a FanDuel that will limit or not let somebody who's betting huge money or a sharp that you would consider making those bets, how is it considered sharp money if you're not letting the sharp people bet on your book? That's the only point that I was trying to make. It wasn't meant to be like a whole industry issue.
Yes, Scott Gallagher, you get a degree. You go on sharp.gov and you fill out a form questionnaire, and then you get approved, and then they send you your sharp ID.
It's very similar to a passport.
Yeah, I got mine upstairs, sharp ID.
I haven't got mine yet. It's still in the mail. Maybe I just
getting denied.
I don't think I can pass.
Who won the poll, dude? Blue Jays money line. Marlins. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Astros. Mariners. Who did they like the Braves or the D-backs? I'll scroll up. They like the Braves. And then put one of the second places in there. Orioles. And so it's first and second of this poll right here. First and second place.
Okay.
Cast your votes.
Someone said I got kicked out of Sharp College. Oh, Sharp College, great institution. Do all books limit you? I mean, I don't know. The mainstream ones do, but I mean, I bet $200 games, so I've never had a problem with it. Someone said, I was a little behind in the video, but the teal or blue for the Diamondbacks is the Native American influence out here. Suns have the same color scheme for the home jerseys. I mean, that's great. I think it's ugly, but I don't mean that as disrespectful to the culture.
Yeah. No, I knew what you meant. They do the same thing up here in Alaska. Like, I'm not making fun of them or anything, but so many Native girls have that color of blue in their hair. Like, it's like very, very popular.
Yeah, I was only commenting on the appearance
Gonzaga does
of
the same thing. Gonzaga wears teal. Gonzaga wears teal one night a year at home for the casinos. Yeah.
Odds on this, please. It's Reds, Blue Jays, Astros, Orioles.
Astros is the last one.
He said after, he goes, still looks like shit, though. I agree.
745
plus 742. So Reds, Blue Jays, Astros, more Orioles plus 742. The community parlay. Prop Beaver, what did you cook up for us? Prop Beaver coming off a hit his underdog pick'em last night.
Okay,
said that was Prop Beaver showing everybody that he still got it. I can still do it, guys. SBU, Sharp Better University. Yeah. Louis Medina, lower than 5.5 hits. Love it. Great pick. Max Fried, higher than 28.5 fantasy. What? We said
we didn't like that.
Jordan Hicks, lower than 5 hits. Like that. So I like 2 of them from Prop Beaver there. Today, Angel Reese is the free leg today, over a half point. All she needs is 1 bucket. So if you are located in one of these states highlighted in yellow and you don't have an Underdog Fantasy account, head over to the website or download the app. And when you make your account, use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you a free $100 deposit bonus match. And in your first pick'em, you get to use Angel Reese over a half point. So essentially, it's a free leg. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I have 4 bets posted on the website if you're interested. Yeah. Oh, if you haven't submitted your picks for the league today, you got 10 minutes. I'm going to close the stream, go upstairs, take a piss, take my contacts out, and then I'm closing the thing. So if you haven't got your picks in for the league, go do it now. Yeah.
Hurry up.
Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Later.